to everybody, doesn't beat anybody.
Okay.
And now he's just like, he's doing reasonably well. That's the only thing I can think about. You know, he is
exceeding he's definitely exceeding my expectations.
I see. Yeah, yeah.
And I would imagine, unless you're like Guichabou's #1 fan, he's probably exceeding your expectations.
He's having a very good run.
Yep.
And his run is going well enough to where if he gets this win over Lores, he's a favorite to get to top 4 out of this. Opening up here with the Guitars against Lores on Demon Island. We've got a Linfei versus Kaya matchup coming through here. Downstick coming through.
Oh my
goodness.
The
weapon throw it afterwards, picks up the cannon, goes to the ground pound. Needed to jump a little bit higher there, but the side stick catches the spot dodge, and Lores is just wiped off the map.
He's too fast. Like he's just chasing him across the stage. Lores is trying to get away.
This is what NA was talking about, right? They were like, is SA and EU ready for this? Which is just how fast Guichabou's 7 decks Guitars.
Yes.
I know. I take responsibility for propagating the 9 decks.
It feels like 9 decks, bro.
I think every time that I've seen Guichabou, I've just talked about how Linfei can do 9 decks.
Yeah.
But like, he never actually.
And I'm used to like playing a 9 decks Rax and thinking about the idea of like, oh, this is a legend you play because they have that 9 decks.
If you pick an 8 decks character, it's like, why? Well, you might as well, right? But no, Guichabou still takes full advantage over the 7 decks, but make sure that his stat line's a little bit more reasonable. And opens up strong here.
Like that right there. Just standing still in iframes. Pick up instant jump there. Dash jump there.
Yeah, his nairs are really, really quick as well. Sidelight comes through, falls with that neutral air, gets poked away. Lores goes in for that neutral air. Another pogo, side air, edge guard here. I was expecting a Lores down sig there at the side of Demon Island, but if it's not going to knock out, maybe he doesn't want to go for it. D-Light recovery. Went for neutral sig on the dodge down. But Lores doesn't give it to him. Down air, D-Light, neutral.
There it is.
No wait that time. He just goes straight in with the knockout. And Lores is, I can feel him being like, wow, this pressure is high.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot. I can't remember. Lores played Skeldra before this, and he beat Skeldra. So I doubt Skeldra was putting out this type of pressure onto Lores. So it's definitely a massive change in pace from his previous match to this one.
Sidelight comes through. See what Lores is able to do. Down here
comes through. Just barely had the frames for that one. And picks up the ground pound, evening up the stocks there. Good spot for Lores.
Fantastic spot. Yeah, that stock I felt like was going to be a lot more difficult. That ground pound
yes.
through. Guichabou actually reeled back in his chair after that one connected. Picks up the cannon.
That's huge. Got the dodge.
Recovery gets him off the right side of the stage. That's every cannon player's dream. Sidelight dare. Weapon thrower down sig. Goes for the ground pound. Lores doesn't have the drift to make it back, and Guichabou solidly takes game 1.
Almost in a JV2 there. Probably had less than 20 damage on that stock. And that's a tough game 1 to take. Like, obviously, it's game 1 at a best of 5. You can adapt. But it was a very quick game, and we'll see, like, how much Lores was able to digest during that game rather than just, like, I just saw everything flash before my eyes, and all of a sudden the scoreboard says, I'm down 1 game.
I firmly believe any player here can do the between-game adaptation, all right? But with Guichabou, you are adapting to something that this is one of a kind. This isn't region-specific. This is just like... There's only one player that plays like this, yeah. And we can see him already going in so quickly, falling there down, like, gets that neutral light. Lores trying to keep him juggled in the air here, but Guichabou just cuts his way right back on the stage, waiting for the landing, can't get the neutral light. That dare so quick. I mean, he's already got him at a damage where a gravity cancel side stick could come through. We know Guichabou loves to be able to go for that right at the amount of damage that will give him an edge guard. Doesn't even necessarily have to knock out. But right here, I can already feel it coming through. Down tick comes down. What's Lores going to be able to get here? Side lights. Side tick catches him, going up a little bit higher, and goes right over to the cannon. No, primes the Guitars. Oh!
I think if Lores had a weapon, he probably might have just swapped over to the cannon, but I think it was more important to strip the field so that Lores was disarmed.
That was definitely just a matchup knowledge check. That charge neutral came through there, and Lores wasn't sure how to punish it. He waited so long that he actually got spiked by the Nair trying to make it back to stage. What an awkward scenario. Down to come through, doesn't get the Dragon's Bite to come through.
Just look at how fast that sequence was. Yeah. That reminds me of like Flesh Vortex back in the old days when he threw out like 3 Vrax Sids really quick, and then all of a sudden next patch, that got nerfed real hard.
Yeah, you're in your 9 decks, 8 decks Legend Lord.
This wasn't even 9 decks, brother. This was just like, it was like in-sig, D-sig, side-sig. On blasters, boom, boom, boom. And then Balance Team saw that, we're like, we can't have that anymore, dude.
Sidelight and light comes through. Yeah, Guichabou has so many preemptive options that he does out of his light attacks. Cannon got thrown aside. Lores gets a sidelight D-light side air edge guard here. No, Guichabou with the sidelight inside and picks up the Guitars and immediately just goes in and in and in. And Lores is finally playing some good defense until Guichabou gets in with the chain dodge. He does. And then Lores misses the wall that Nair had to hit. If the Nair didn't, okay. That's like that whole sequence of stuff was Guichabou just actually repeatedly banging his head into a wall and then actually breaking through. That's what it felt like. That was amazing coming through there. And then the chase dodge to get the max distance downwards dodge after getting on the edge. He might do it again.
Look at this.
Oh
my goodness.
What do you do against that?
I did not put enough respect onto Guichabou coming into this weekend. Again, like I put him last, but it's because like someone has to get last. Right? There's no disrespect in that. And I know if like I'm a person and I'm going to my first LAN, like that's going to affect me a lot. I expected it to affect Guichabou more than it seemingly is here.
Guitar's picked up again. He's been making sure they have those primed. Goes over that downlight. Okay, Loras gets the sidelight in air. If he continues focusing on defense here, he can bring this back. Side air catches Guichabou going for a delayed recovery. No,
ooh, yes.
He's got no jump.
Easy pick
Double
up.
D-light side air. Guichabou has a dodge. That's all he's got left.
Ground pound. Oh, it's just a down air.
That's going to be game 2 going over to Loras. Fantastic edge guard coming out from there and great patience. A lot of what I'm finding Loras is doing to be able to deal with Guichabou is actually slowing the game down.
I was just about to say, he's got to slow it down. If he slows it down, and that's one of the things that Godly did that was so effective against Guichabou, is like Guichabou would come in with a Qatar down air, and Godly would just like back up and wait it out, and then instantly punish it.
And Spear has all the tools to be able to do that. You just have to not kick yourself too much for occasionally losing neutral and taking 6 hits. Because when Guichabou gets in, he's going to hit you 6 times, and you're just going to be thinking about what you're going to be doing next after you get out of that string. Nice start for Loras here in game 3. Nair catches Guichabou overreaching on the side of the stage again, and those downlights are not going to connect through. Loras seems to have adapted. It took him a game and a half, but he managed to get there.
So yeah, like he just took like 5 or 6 hits right there, but like that just happens sometimes. And you need to not let that shake you in the moment and be like, oh, I gotta attack him real quick because I need to put out as much damage as he did. Like, you know, sometimes you just need to chill out. And I think Loras is starting to figure that out. Look how much space he was giving Guichabou there. Even the weapon toss came in. He saved his dodge because he knew a hit was coming right after that. So Loras is playing a lot smarter. The adaptation is coming through so far. Again, just running away from Guichabou.
Yeah, the one thing that I don't think you can get very quickly during a match like this, nice side signature, is that I can still see some hesitation with Loras and punishing whiffed Lin Fei 6.
Yes.
And it's just like, yeah, I don't blame you. There's one character, it was the same case with Yuz and Vector. It's the same case with Guichabou and Lin Fei. There's only one region that really knows what Lin Fei does, and that's North America. Downsig almost catches Guichabou on the wake up, puts it out again. Okay, Loras is really getting into his comfort zone. This is more of the Loras that I'm expected to see. I mean, he'll go for another sidelight Downsig even on stage at this point, I feel like. Sidelight from Guichabou, neutral light into the delayed dash forward D-light recovery, catches the dodge, gets the stock, well played.
So yeah, we've seen several down airs come in from Guichabou on the Qatars, and Loras just backdashes them, and then instantly punishes while Guichabou is still on whiff lag. Oh, he thought he could get cheeky on the edge there. Be very careful, waiting out the blender.
Okay, goes in for the edge guard there. Doesn't get the recovery. Falling down, waits out the Loras' recovery. Falling there, sidelights through, downlight, down air. He's really trying to drag Loras off stage. Every single time, those down airs have been magneting towards off stage, and Loras has been dealing with it pretty well. Nair recovery could knock out. Another Nair. No dodge. Downsig trying to catch him fast falling, and it doesn't work. Now he has no Qatars.
That was a big side air hit.
Whoa, that slide charge pivot Downsig was a huge read, and it managed to make it back totally fine. Bow neutral air would knock out, right?
Very smart to weapon starve Guichabou.
There it is, yeah. Bow neutral air knocking out even on stage. I was like, he is so damaged right now.
And he's going to strip the field yet again, keeping Guichabou weapon starved. The next weapon is going to be the cannon, which, like, typically when we see the cannon coming out, we see, like, a handful of SIGs, and it's to clean up. Now he's having to do it when Loras is, like, halfway through his stock. Be careful. There's the D-light side air. Jump to get away from the recovery.
Go for the side sig here. Yep, goes for it. Spot dodges it off the bottom of the stage. Guichabou was really trying to catch Loras off guard, but Loras seems to know his game plan now, and Loras has been sticking to his much better than Guichabou was able to execute on his.
It's because Loras is playing so defensively now.
Yeah, Guichabou was willing to, like, that's why I said, like, last game felt like Guichabou was actually just trying to repeatedly bust through a wall and succeeded a few times. And Loras is just like, all right, I built the wall 3 times stronger, and I'm going to do that every single game. Can you continue playing the way that you want to play right now? And the answer's looking like no.
And I'm going to stand back 6 feet, so when you break through the wall, you're going to be dazed for a moment, and I'm going to hit you.
A cannon's pretty good at busting through a wall.
Of all the weapons in Brawlhalla, it is de facto probably the best one to make it through a wall.
Yeah, so Guichabou does side sig through one stock, but that side sig comes through. Loras now has so many tools to be able to take this to a game 4. Down sig on stage, catches the landing, and Guichabou shaking his head after that one. Loras has successfully adapted, and Guichabou has not. I feel like Guichabou's been trying to do the same thing that he's been doing since game 1, and Laura's just kind of like, okay, I'm going to dash back, down light, dash back, down sig, dash back, everything. You're going to keep coming at me, and you're not going to mix it up with a weapon throw. There's some very telegraphed setups that I'm noticing Guichabou likes to go for that only after 3 games Loras was able to deal with, like the gravity cancel side sig. It's one thing for me to be able to call it out as a commentator. It's another thing for Loras to stand perfectly still, spot dodge it at the right time, and then do like 50 damage.
Yeah.
And that's coming through. So now we've got the classic Guichabou cosmetic counter pick.
Yes.
Going over to the Sakura for game number 4.
Great reaction there from Loras to spot dodge that weapon toss.
And we can see already Laura is really like holding on to the right side of the stage, being like, yeah, I'm literally not going to attack for a while. I can trust you to do that first. And his defensive game is so much better. Catches the landing there, though.
Oh, great.
Stuff recovery effects off of that delayed nair. 2 pogos in a row.
And look at the space that Loras will just give Guichabou. He'll give him like 3, maybe 3.5 character widths away, and like Guichabou can't do anything. Like he's really starting to run into the matchup troubles of dealing with 2 ranged weapons and a player whose punish game is now amazing.
And Loras, that neutral signature had an extra little bit of charge in that too. Lin-Fei's neutral signature basically being a light attack, does tack on some damage, but he throws that cannon down, dive kicks instead of picking up. That cannon lasted like 50 hours longer than it should have. Downer comes through though and gets the spike, and Loras is up 3-2. Game 4 match point.
So we saw that cheeky D-Sig that Loras just tried to throw out, like gravity canceled in the air, you know, burning his dodge, a little bit of a risky move. We'll see if he's starting to move like a little bit more pressure focused, given that he's like, he's had more time to download Guichabou, so he doesn't have to quite play as defensively.
Side light, goes for the nair on the dodge up. Another side light, that time he goes for instant nair. Guichabou finds 1 nair on the way back down to the stage. No dodge from Loras, but still playing off stage and with a stock deficit that's so terrifying.
Dude, I was so scared we were going to get a down air from Loras, and then it was going to be like 5 more of them. Maybe not leading to the KO, but great job from Guichabou cleaning up that first stock. He hasn't taken too much damage. He's maybe sitting about 60, 70. Definitely not anything he can't come back from.
Bow's picked up. Loras hasn't been doing the hottest with the bow against Guichabou's guitars. But 2 nairs in a row will put him in an orange. Down stick dodge out of the way. Gets the nair, down air. D-Light doesn't carry him off stage with the dare. But Guichabou's getting some good damage, and that down light just barely misses, and Loras is starting to take some damage here. I think Loras just got to switch over to the spear.
I don't know. I'd let him cook on this. Yeah, he's taking hits, but he has a 50+ damage lead. He has Guichabou in the red.
The 50+ damage lead came from the previous stock, Sparky. Oh, but the recovery at the very end comes through. Spear does manage to do it, and he's primed to spear now. It's going to be spear for probably the rest of the stock.
Guichabou without a weapon, going to be looking for the spawn. Grabs it out of the air, basically as high as you possibly can, as quickly as you can. Just goes for the sidelight, waits, hoping he can get a dodge, and then go for the sidelight say recovery.
Down sig here at the edge would be pretty good. He spot dodges in place. Wonder if he wanted to gravity cancel something. Side sig does not connect. Down sig comes through as well.
Dude, Loras is so close to getting hit by like every single one of these KO moves.
Oh, the downlight hits, but he doesn't go for the recovery right afterwards, and now Loras is getting a lot of extra damage. D-Light into no recovery afterwards. Guichabou just tags on the attack, and then he goes for the laggy move, and the down sig hits Guichabou, turns in what could have been an even game into, is this going to be a 2-stock? Spot dodge, ground pound does not connect. Guichabou barely makes it back, and now D-Light nair would knock out, but has Guichabou ever really been 0-1 to get the light attack combo starter? Not really.
Like honestly, he'll just nair more than D-Light nair, if anything.
And now he's taking so much damage, it's like the point of no return. Okay, Guichabou, he has it on cannon, he has it on guitars, Sparky. He needs the 0 to knockout to be able to stay alive in this set. Otherwise, Loras is going to take it 3-1.
Loras keeping the pressure on him, not totally 100% of the time. He's still playing safely, but you saw spawning back in, unarmed, double recoveries coming out, has the spear. This is the weapon that Tazza wanted to see. The recovery almost taken off the top, sending off screen. One more of those, like any elevation in the air probably should do it at this point.
And Loras is not one that's just going to throw away his weapon for a quick combo, right? You have to knock the spear out of his hands, and that's so terrifying to think about. You can see Guichabou just like being like, okay, what's my first move going to be? Neutral in the wrong direction, and Loras with the most beautiful whiff punish with that down sig. That was the most spectacular example of what is South America going to do when they see this? And that was get decimated game 1 and then adapt. That's really what happened there from Loras. Because Loras was like, he was shaking his head and going, what the heck is this? Right? That game 1, we had no idea how the rest of the set was going to play out based off how that game 1 went.
I think the biggest thing is like Loras slowed down. I don't know if he like saw what Godly did or